I understand you're asking about the key differences between resolving a commercial contract dispute through the Dubai courts versus the Dubai International Arbitration Centre, DIAC, within the UAE. This is a common consideration when drafting contracts or facing a potential dispute. To provide a clear comparison, let's break down the main distinctions. Nature of the forum and jurisdiction. Dubai courts. These are the official judicial bodies of the Emirate of Dubai, part of the UAE's national court system. Their jurisdiction is established by law, and they handle a wide range of civil and commercial cases. Litigation in the Dubai courts is the default mechanism unless parties have agreed otherwise. DIAC. This is an independent, non-profit institution providing regional and international arbitration services. DIAC administers arbitrations based on the agreement of the parties, typically found in an arbitration clause within their contract. Jurisdiction is based solely on this contractual agreement to arbitrate. Decision maker. Dubai courts. Disputes are decided by judges appointed by the state. Judges are legal experts, but may not always have specialized knowledge of the specific industry involved in the dispute. DIAC. Disputes are decided by one or three arbitrators. Parties often have significant input in selecting the arbitrators, allowing them to choose individuals with specific industry expertise relevant to the dispute. Procedure and flexibility. Dubai courts. Proceedings follow the UAE Civil Procedure Code and other relevant laws. The process is formal, with strict rules regarding evidence, pleadings, and timelines. The primary language is Arabic, and documents typically require translation. DIAC. Proceedings are governed by the DIAC arbitration rules, currently the 2022 rules, and the UAE Federal Arbitration Law No. 6 of 2018. The process is generally more flexible than court litigation. Parties can agree on aspects like the language of the arbitration, often English in international contracts, the seat of arbitration, and specific procedural matters, tailoring the process to their needs. Confidentiality. Dubai courts. Court proceedings and judgments are generally public record. DIAC. Arbitration proceedings under DIAC rules are typically confidential. The hearings, evidence, and the final award are usually kept private unless the parties agree otherwise or disclosure is required by law, for example, for enforcement. Enforcement of decisions awards. Dubai courts. Judgments issued by the Dubai courts are enforced through the local court system within the UAE. Enforcement outside the UAE depends on bilateral treaties and conventions between the UAE and the relevant foreign country. DIAC. Arbitral awards issued by DIAC tribunals are generally easier to enforce internationally due to the UAE being a signatory to the 1958 New York Convention on the Recognition and Enforcement of Foreign Arbitral Awards. This convention facilitates enforcement in over 170 member countries. Within the UAE, the Federal Arbitration Law provides a streamlined process for the recognition and enforcement of domestic arbitral awards through the courts. Appeals. Dubai courts. Judgments from the Court of First Instance are typically subject to appeal before the Court of Appeal and potentially the Court of Cassation on points of law. This multi-tiered appeal process can extend the duration of the dispute. DIAC. Arbitral awards are generally final and binding. The grounds for challenging an arbitral award in court are very limited under the UAE arbitration law, for example, lack of a valid arbitration agreement, procedural irregularities, violation of public policy, and do not usually involve a review of the merits of the case. Speed and cost. Dubai courts. Litigation can sometimes be protracted due to caseloads and the multi-level appeal process. Costs involve court fees, translation costs, and legal representation fees. DIAC. Arbitration is often perceived as potentially faster due to more streamlined procedures and limited appeals. However, costs can also be significant, including DIAC's administrative fees, arbitrators' fees, which can be substantial depending on the complexity and amount in dispute, and legal representation costs. The actual speed and cost can vary greatly depending on the specifics of the case.